Welcome back to the trailer project. We need to get this C channel cut out of here all the way back to this weld here so that we can put in the new C channel that is not all mangled up, along with the new coupler, new jack, and we need to get this bent stop out of the way. So to start, I think I'm going to cut these welds out. I could even cut the plate. I haven't decided if I'm going to go back with a round bar or leave this as an angle. I may even go with a square tube. They all work. But for now, I'll just take it at the weld and leave the plate until I figure out what I want to put back in. As far as cutting out this channel here, I need to cut this weld. If you actually look here, this weld is cracked, so I'll probably end up cutting these plates off too. And then there's a few welds underneath we need to get. And coming back here, we just tie into that plate there. So I don't think you guys need to see me cut this, so I'll bring you back when I'm done. Well guys, I got pretty much all the welds cut here. There's one hanging on in the back. It's a little hard to get into. So we're just gonna rock this up and down. I figured we'd bring you guys along. You can watch the last piece fall off. Well, I'm not sure about everyone else here, but that's the first time I've ever cut the tongue off a trailer. The best part is, now I gotta come back and try and dissect these fenders off. I'm not worried about the fender. I just don't want to get or cut into there. There you can see that's a weld that's gonna have to be ground out and redone. I noticed a couple underneath that are gonna have to be redone. That doesn't even look like a weld. That almost looks like someone filled that with silicone. It's soft. Okay guys, we moved inside for a little nicer weather. Get out of the wind. Give you a little better lighting. We need to get these fenders cut off yet. Tongue is gone. Obviously those are the new channels for the tongue. I think I may end up... I think I may end up actually cutting these off. I think what I'm going to do is go with a 2x2 square tubing. And I just don't like how they had a 3x2 inch angle here. But that angle came, you know, a 1/4 inch past this plate. And I don't like that. I think it looks kind of hokey. So I'll cut them off and I'll shear out some new plates that I can weld up on there and get a 2x2 square tube on top. As for the rest of it here, as I said, fenders need to go yet. I'm going to cut these taillight brackets completely off. As you can see, they're rusted all the way through on both sides. I don't like these style brackets specifically for that reason. We'll get into the style I prefer. We need to cut this back angle iron off because that's all chewed up. Other taillight, other fender needs to go. We need to grind down all these screws. Ramps need to come out. All this wiring needs to go. So I'm going to get to cutting. I'll bring you guys back after a bit. So to make grinding easier on myself down in these areas and that, I just cut kind of a majority of the fender out of my way. Same thing on this side. And then I just cut along the back. We're still a little solid in the back here. I think I need to cut a little farther up in there. And it should be ready to come off. garbage. So here, I'll come in now with just either a flap wheel or a grinding disc, since it's not welded on the bottom. I'll just grind that weld down, and the rest of this will come off. Same with up in here, which I thought that was like a silicone in there, but it is actually metal. Same with along here, just come and grind each of those welds down, and the rest of this little 1/2-inch strip here should just fall out of there. But for now, I'm going to jump to the other side, cut what remains of that fender, and get it out of here. Well guys, it's a great day. We're finally getting rid of the junk fenders. Just stuck in that corner where the not the die grinder, but the angle grinder couldn't get. We'll twist that out of there. I think we're going to move on to the taillights next. Now that we have a pretty much bare frame. We'll touch on electrical a little more, obviously, once we get this to that stage. But guys, do yourself a favor. Quit buying these style lights with the plug-in on them. I don't know how many times throughout the years I have had to replace, or thought I had to replace a light, and all that happened was this came unplugged. They make sealed ones now, where the wires are sealed as one unit, and you're better off using like a weather pack connector for your plug. In my book, this is outdated garbage. So here's what I was talking about. Just grind that weld flat, and then we'll be able to break that off. You can just see, if I get you in the right light here, it's just a fine parting line. That way we're not grinding away at this angle, not taking big chunks out of that. I don't want any grinder marks or anything like that to show after we paint this, so best thing to do is get all this as smooth as we can. And then when I re-weld it, I'll have it blasted afterward. Hopefully you'll never be able to see it ever happen. Okay guys, starting at the front, that bracket's gone. Working our way back here. Fender is cleaned out. All those are cleaned up. All those welds that they had on there. Back to the taillight here, that's all cleaned up. I do still need to cut that bracket off. I need to cut the ramp holder or angle, whatever you want to call that. I need to grind the screws yet. And then I have a whole other side to do. I haven't cut the taillight off over there. Like I said, I'll have to cut that angle all the way across the back. Get the rest of that wiring out of there. I just cut it on this side when I took the taillight out. All wiring's going. Cut the rest of these screws here. Cut these screws off here. Cut that bracket off up front. Make everything look like this side. And the next time you guys see this, we're going to be welding parts back on. So, thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate everyone who subscribed. There will be more to come on this, and more to come on the RD4 crawler.